To us, that's not okay.
And turning down the volume on those loud streaming commercials.
Come on!
We just have subtitles running, and still the volume of the commercials is so loud that it'll wake her up.
We introduce you to the sleep-deprived parents leading the charge in California.
CBS News Bay Area Evening Edition with Ryan Yamamoto.
Well, we begin with first alert weather. Much of the Bay Area dealing with intense heat as fall gets underway. And more thunderstorms could be headed our way. The dangerous temperatures prompting a heat advisory. Check out these volleyball players in Walnut Creek taking some extra precautions, actually wearing socks so they don't get burned by all that hot sand. The South Bay also experiencing a surge in temperatures today. This was the scene at the Calero Reservoir where it reached the mid-90s. A perfect day for fishing with your feet in the water. And taking a live look outside right now, it was the hottest day of the year so far in San Francisco. Today, the heat won't last long. We're looking at a big change in weather tomorrow with a chance of rain, even some thunderstorms. And check this out, a beautiful day a little further down the coast. This is a live look from the world-famous 18th hole at Pebble Beach. We'd like to welcome our new viewers. Joining us from the Central Coast tonight, watching from our sister station, KION. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Hagan joining us now with a closer look at our mini heat wave. Well, at least a short one, at least on tap.
Yeah, and not setting any records. We always get one of these, at least brief heat waves this time of year. It's the warmest day so far in San Francisco, but we still haven't hit 90 degrees in the city all year. So this is something that we kind of expect to happen this time of year. Let's take a look at those current temperatures right now, and those are hot, but they're not out of the realm of what we do expect this time of year. Some of the hottest spots are approaching 100 degrees, but mostly 90s for inland communities. It's 93 degrees right now in San Jose. We look inland in the East Bay, it's 96 in Antioch, 99 degrees in Concord and in Livermore. It's even 95 in Fremont, 96 in Redwood City. 87 degrees is the highest we've been so far in San Francisco. Look at the official update on the high temperature coming up at the bottom of the hour. The National Weather Service releases that information usually around 5:30, 5:45. But now our focus shifts from the heat to the approaching chance of showers and thunderstorms. Let's look at the statewide view because this is once again going to be a statewide story. That moisture is showing up off the coast at this point, but making its way steadily a little bit farther to the north. And that northward progress is going to continue. Let's take a look at futurecasts from tonight through tomorrow. And you see that moisture hitting Monterey before the sun comes up tomorrow and then moving up across the Bay Area as we head through the majority of Wednesday. It's going to be scattered activity, not a guarantee of rain for everybody, but about a 50-50 chance of measurable rain in any particular spot. Generally less than a tenth of an inch of rain, but some spots may hit the jackpot and get a quarter inch of rain. The primary concern, the reason tomorrow is a first alert weather day, cloud to ground lightning. You don't want to be outside when that's in the area. And some brief heavy downpours out of these thunderstorms could result in the possibility of some slick roads out there as you're going to be making your way out and about. And the Storm Prediction Center has outlined much of the area for the threat of what they call general thunderstorms, but especially just a little bit farther down to the south from essentially Monterey southward. We're going to take a closer look at the full 7-day forecast, which includes a return to normal temperatures. It's coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Paul. We're taking a live look at right now from Mount Diablo all across the East Bay today. Fire crews were on high alert for any problems that might pop up. It comes as one fire department is celebrating a huge milestone, the recent reopening of 3 fire stations in Oakland. Brad Hamilton is in Oakland Hills with more on this remarkable turnaround and what it means for people living in those fire-prone areas.
With temperatures reaching the high 80s in Oakland today, residents that live here in the hills become wary of the fire danger that comes with this kind of heat. But recently, they just got some peace of mind back, and it came just in time for peak wildfire season.
You came through the canyon right through there. That's downtown San Francisco.
This is Calvin Black's oasis. He moved to this Oakland Hills home in 1988, and not a day has gone by since without a morning spent looking out at that view.
On a very clear day, you can even see the Golden Gate Bridge.
Calvin would do anything to protect his property. But at the start of this year, he felt city leaders stopped having the same goal.
That's the closest thing to the national park. So if they don't know how to fight fires, no one does.
In January, Oakland Fire Department temporarily shut down 2 of the Hills' fire stations, Station 25 on Butters Drive in Joaquin Miller Park, and Station 28, where Calvin lives on Grass Valley Road. Oakland Fire Department spokesperson Michael Hunt says the move wasn't an easy one and strictly made because of the city's budget shortfall, a concept they know all too well.
Really, from the late 90s, under Mayor Jerry Brown, there had been a reduction in firehouses by one or two companies, it seemed like, for every year.
But now, for the first time in 20 years, Hunt is glad to say all systems are a go. Not only did they recently reopen stations 25 and 28, but also Station 10 in the Grand Lake neighborhood, which was closed since November 2022 for renovations.
It's a huge boost to the department morale-wise, but also just in the terms of safety for the community.
Hunt says community pressure was key to getting the support they needed to reopen, especially in the Oakland Hills. It was October of last year when the fast-moving Keller fire broke out in the hills above 580. It significantly damaged one home and threatened dozens of others. It was a frightening reminder of the 1991 Oakland Hills firestorm that killed 25 people and destroyed more than 3,000 homes. Calvin remembers exactly where he was when that fire broke out.
I was here. I was on my way to San Francisco.
And he hasn't taken a single day here for granted since. Now, he says he's relieved to see the protection he's always counted on back in place.
Whatever the cost is, they need to be paid.
In talking with other firefighters here, they say that more staffing and stations are needed. As one official put it, quote, "We're now full go for the year 2005. But he also pointed out that calls have grown exponentially since then and more adjustments are needed.
That was Brad Hamilton reporting in Oakland. In the meantime, a power pole fire in San Jose spread to the backyard of a nearby home, causing major damage to a shed and a yard, as well as minor damage to the detached garage. This happened just before 3 o'clock this afternoon. That fire broke out near the intersection of Sunny Vista Drive and Peachtree Lane. San Jose Fire says a family lives in the nearby home, but luckily the fire did not spread to the main home and no one was injured. BG&E crews arrived at the scene a bit later to de-energize the neighborhood's electrical lines. We heard from Dan, who lives across the street. He called 911 when he saw the smoke.
I just heard some loud pops and looked out the window and saw the flames coming up behind the house. Well, what went through my mind was, well, I hope the neighbor's okay, you know.
And San Jose firefighters were able to get that fire under control in about an hour. Today was also a spare the air day, a good day to ditch the car. BART is celebrating Transit Day, though, while boasting some of its highest ridership numbers since 2020. In August, nearly 5 million riders rode BART, making it the busiest month since the pandemic slowdown. Some riders we spoke with today say BART has become more reliable.
I couldn't get to work if I didn't have BART. I wouldn't want to drive every day. You know, that's 2 hours from Antioch, 2.5 hours easily. So this is an hour, and I'm here.
BART, though, has faced some setbacks this year, including 2 system-wide shutdowns. The most recent one happening earlier this month. Late night host Jimmy Kimmel is back on the air tonight, 1 week after his suspension, despite ABC's decision to bring him back. 2 local TV giants say they still won't air his show. Jeff Nguyen has the latest from Hollywood.
Back to work for Jimmy Kimmel and his wife Molly, the show's executive producer, arriving at the El Capitan Theater. The pair arrived to work following a 4-day suspension.
Our request is in the queue.
George Nichols put in a request for tickets on the app for Jimmy Kimmel Live. He had tickets for Monday, but that show was canceled. Your bad luck came a day too early.
Right. But we missed it by that much.
Kimmel was suspended after comments he made about the suspected killer of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. On Monday, Disney, the parent company of ABC Television, announced he would return to the show Tuesday night. 2 of the largest local television ownership groups, Nexstar and Sinclair, have decided to not air the late night talk show. Michael Schneider is the executive editor of television at Variety.
At least for the next foreseeable future, the show won't be on in about 25% of the country. That's about the amount of reach that both Sinclair and Nexstar have.
It's unclear if ABC will be able to work out a deal with Sinclair, which has ABC stations in major markets like Seattle and Washington, D.C., and Nexstar, which has ABC stations in markets like Nashville and Salt Lake City. James Ulrich is visiting from the battleground state of Wisconsin.
I suppose each station has its own choice, and the viewers will, I guess, vote with what they watch. So if people disagree with that, they'll tune into another station.
I heard that Sinclair and the other company next door, they're not. Thank God. They've got brains.
Greg Donovan is known as the ambassador of Hollywood.
A lot of people ask me, where's Jimmy Kimmel? I want to get tickets. That's my number one question.
I want to hear what he has to say, and it seems like this is going to be like the biggest show in quite some time for Jimmy.
Well, today, Kimmel did return to social media, posting a photo alongside late-night TV producer Norman Lear with the title, Missing This Guy Today. Lear created All in the Family, which tackled social and political issues and was considered a controversial show at the time. Well, tonight, Governor Newsom will make an appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The governor is in New York for Climate Week. It's an annual event held at the same time as the UN General Assembly. You can watch The Late Show tonight on KPIX 5, right after the late news with Sarah Donchi. And the man accused of trying to assassinate Donald Trump at his Florida golf course last year has been found guilty of all charges. And shortly after the conviction, witnesses say Ryan Ruth tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen inside the courtroom. U.S. Marshals then tackled Ruth and dragged him out. Ruth later returned to the courtroom in shackles. He was arrested last September at Trump's West Palm Beach courts. Secret Service agents said he was spotted near the 6th hole with a semi-automatic rifle and quickly captured. Ruth will be sentenced in December and faces life in prison. Still ahead at 5, an unusual battle over streaming services playing out at the state capitol. We're going to meet the California family fighting for sleep-deprived parents everywhere.
Are you the youngest lobbyist ever?
She's not registered. That could get into some trouble.
Well, there's controversy in a small North Bay town over asphalt.
We're going to have bigger tankers coming through town. We're going to have much more toxicity.
A concern from some residents about plans to build a new plant. And we're going to hear from those who welcome the potential new business. Plus, the wait is over, almost over. The Bay Area residents about to get their post office back after nearly 3 years of trips to neighboring towns.